Hello, hello, and welcome back to Totally Hosed Theater, where everyone is dead and this run is probably completely tanked, down in the darkness of Perfidious Manor, in Darkest Dungeon. Last episode was our darkest dungeon yet. I mean, I'm talking I hate everyone and everything levels of darkness and despair. And you know what? It's my fault. There's nobody dependent on except for me. The whole thing is entirely my fault. It's what I get for going into a champion dungeon down in the Weald. I should have learned my lesson. And it's my fault. I forgot my own hashtag. Hashtag fuck the Weald. The hashtag exists for a reason, and that reason is fuck the Weald. I thought the champion monsters in the Warrens were a pain in the ass with their spit roasting and catastrophic AoE damage, but oh how wrong I was. Those spit roasting pigmen who I said I would never fight again because they were too tough, turns out those guys, bunch of pushovers. The monsters we fought in the Weald, that thing was tougher than some of the actual bosses in the game. If you gave me a shot to fight the Necromancer Lord or to fight one of those champion monsters from the Weald again, I would take that Necromancer Lord right in his butthole-shaped mask 10 out of 10 times. This may be a little bit of a stretch, but I almost think I'd prefer to fight the Collector in a champion dungeon, or maybe even a Shambler, than fight another one of those champion monsters from the Weald. Those guys are just way too dangerous. And the other thing, too, is, I mean, we're looking at 7 out of 12 deaths, which means we can lose a maximum of 2 more troopers, I think, and that's it. That's a run-ender. If we lose 2 more, it doesn't matter what we do, we will lose in the final dungeon. We got 2 to play with. 2 to play with. That's it. And I'm salty about that, but I'm also salty about the trinkets that we lost, because both Trinity and Shane died with some largely irreplaceable trinkets. And this could be the run that ends it all. But what I'm going to do, we're going to focus from henceforth pretty much exclusively on just being in the ruins. Whatever the champion level mission, if we need a champion, or whatever the appropriately leveled dungeon is for the ruins, we're going to do that one and nothing else. Because going anywhere other than the ruins is tantamount to suicide. I do have a team in mind for my second assault on the darkest dungeon, but before we can take that team in, we got to get Bubba Blue leveled up to rank 6. He's got to be a legend to go in and handle that. And Bubba, unfortunately, this week is sidelined with a little stress relief problem. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to take one of our other teams into the old dungeon, and we're going to try and start having them poke their way towards the top of the heap. We want to start working our B team, because this is the team that ideally will be going into the 3rd layer of the dungeon for us. Once the 2nd layer has been completed, we're going to need to spend a whole truckload of money to get these guys ready, though. So let's just go ahead and do it. Brody, grab your sword and board. Primrose, grab your shit. Cousin Matthew, put a helmet on that head so when that car rolls over, you don't wind up with your skull crushed onto the pavement. And then it's just from here on out, I think we're looking exclusively at skills, which we're probably going to need quite a few of. Yep, okay, so... Well, we go any deeper down the skill road and we're going to be out of cash. So can we maybe... Let's unequip all trinkets and sort them by rarity. What can we do in a trinket department? What do we have multiples of that we're not going to use? Probably this hero's ring. Yeah, we're never going to use that. 3,700 gold for us. We got any other duplicates we can afford to get rid of? Don't really need that second helmet there. Probably don't need really either of those chalices, but we definitely don't need 2 of them. We got any other dupes down here? That's it, huh? So I'm up to 13,600. Well then, that's a bit of a pickle, because that's going to be probably not enough. We will still, I mean, I think we're going to do, the mission is a short mission, but we're still going to need, I mean, some amount of supplies, even on a short mission, which mean, I think, Prim, you're going to have to go in undergunned on your skills here, because the rest of our cash has got to go for sundries. You yearn for adventure? Well, that's nice. I'm glad you're yearning for something other than the hunky boy who hangs out with you and was heart-wrenchingly shattered when you volunteered yourself for tribute. That's nice. So what do we want to do for Nicholas Brody? I think we'll go ahead and give him the Brawler's Gloves. Let's get an extra 25% damage there. We want damage for Brody, but we also want to lower his speed. Matthew Crawley has a speed of 10 because of an ability he has. So what goes good with this? The Moon Ring, we have no interest in wearing that. I really just want more damage here. Bonus stress healed while camping. The bonus scouting chance is not terrible, but wait, your cousin Matthew? I don't want you there at all. Okay, bit of a miscue. Hold on. Take these gloves back. Because you don't get to wear those. The man in the front gets to wear these gloves, and that's not you. The man in the front. Oh wait, that was right. Never mind. Nicholas Brody is the man in the front. Cousin Matthew is the guy who's backing us up. So I want more damage on you. What can I? 15% damage in high torchlight. Little bit extra stress. You know what? That's acceptable to us. Now, we want to get a little bit of speed on Cousin Matthew, but not too much, because ideally we would still have Russell Franklin winning speed rolls in most cases. Bonus stun skill chance, bonus debuff chance, bonus crit chance. You know, that's just not that useful. A bunch of extra dodge would be helpful. A Book of Sanity is also helpful. We don't really... You know what we want you to have? Where's Junia's head? We're just going to give you Junia's head and a Book of Sanity and give you massive bonuses to your healing and then just offset that. As for Primrose, I always have a difficult time figuring out what to do with Primrose Everdeen. I think normally we've just been giving her like a sniper's ring, but yeah, that's acceptable. A sniper's ring, and then what else do we want to give you? Bonus speed, bonus dodge. Quick Charge Charm gives you plus 8 speed on the first round and bonus crit on the first round. You know what? Yeah, let's go with that. Let's see if we can have you beat some of our other team out front and get the marks placed for him. And if not, I mean, we'll have to learn to deal. Could get a little extra dodge for some bonus stress. The Ancestors map would also... You know what? Yeah, let's do the Ancestors map here. We don't have a lot of good trinket options for Cousin Matthew is the problem. What else can we couple with this? We just sort of don't have a lot of really good trinkets, period. Do you have anything that gives you extra damage? Damage, yeah. What damage? No. Except for the Moon Ring, which I really don't want to wear. We could go with Barristan's head or Dismas's head. We give him Dismas's head. We're looking at an extra 30% stress. That's too much. We need to find something else. Book of Constitution, Book of Rage, Blight Amulet. We don't have any Blight skills. Don't care about the Bounty Hunter's head. I mean, extra scouting. We would be scouting almost every single room if we went that route. Damage Stone penalizes our dodge, which I don't like. Survival Guide is not terrible. Warrior's Cap has some benefits. Do we have anything that maybe just gives us like a little bonus crit or something? Get a Dark Crown? Nah. Could go for a Feather Crystal, little extra speed, little extra dodge, but that just means we're going to be winning speed rolls all the time. Maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing, though. If we're winning speed rolls, we can... You know what? Let's do this. We'll go for the speed roll wins and try and have Cousin Matthew be our setup guy. He's going to be our marksman. And by marksman, I mean the guy who is actually marking people. That's not the guy who is shooting people. The actual marksman would be Primrose Everdeen, although technically I think she would be a marks person. What a gender stereotype. So your skills look good. Okay, skills are all sorted then. Really what we need is just enough provisions to get us through a short dungeon. We're going to go 1 full stack of food. I don't need 4 torches, definitely. Nope. In fact, let's just grab a pair of torches. Or a pair of shovels. Pete, is that a torch? Looks suspiciously like a shovel. 1 full stack of food. We're not going to be able to camp, so we've got torches, we've got shovels. This is a bare necessities kind of thing here. We don't need a key either because we will not have any chance at a secret room. And the best way to dig ourselves out of the hole in the cash problem that we're experiencing really is to try and keep this to a minimum and try and maximize our cash. I'd love to go into something that was a little bit bigger than a short dungeon. If we're looking for ducats, we should be looking for a medium or a long, but if it ain't in the ruins, I ain't doing it anymore. That's the way it's gonna go. The champion monster for the ruins is the one champion monster that's sort of reasonable. The Weald, terrible. The Warrens, not quite as terrible as the Weald, but still also very bad. So we have to explore 90% of rooms. We're definitely going to have to explore this leg, so let's go ahead and start this up then. Did we bring holy water? We didn't. I think we'll ignore the confession booth for now because one thing this group does not have in an abundance is a proper way to adequately deal with stress. So we're going to let that go. A little dark, but we won't have a room battle till we get in the room. Really wish I had purchased a holy water there. We could have opportunity for some extra cash. The scouting has begun, though, and that's extraordinarily good. Now we know... Okay, we got a room battle with treasure, curio, and this is an empty room. We will probably walk down that hall and back just to save us potential backtracking or give us the opportunity to skip, say, a problematic room later. We just want a quickie here. That's what we came in for. A little bit of insy-winsy, outsy-woutsy. Get in, get what loot we can. Darius Rucker, though? No. Trampled Journal? Come on. You know the rule, Darkest Dungeon. If it ain't about Darius Rucker, Perfidious Pete don't care. Love my hootie and this blowfish. So, champion monster. We've got a bone bearer. That's bad. But what we can do... How stun resistant are you? Oh, only 245%. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, that's more than a little. So what's our goal gonna be then? We want to try and kill these men as quickly as possible. We're gonna start heaping on the damage. That's an extraordinarily helpful start. Wicked Surge. Some kind of buff? Yeah, it's actually a really big buff, and I hope it's not stackable. Staggering Force. This man needs to die. We cannot be getting hit with that buff if it is stackable. Ouch. 12 damage for Franklin. Alright. It's a double buff. It's an AoE damage. Holy shit pickles. So it's an AoE damage buff. Can we get 4 damage out of this? Minimum damage is 4 if it hits. There we go. No more of that shit. Stackable buff? No, thank you. That's gonna go the way of the dodo. I'm not taking any more of that. It's a direct targeted buff, but also it was additionally a stackable buff. Things are going real well in the critical department. We destroyed the most dangerous foe, and I still feel like we're in a whole shitload of trouble here. Alright, Primrose Everdeen, I want you to heal. We're gonna try and have... Primrose and Franklin here are probably gonna be just exclusively chain healing back and forth. It's nice that you avoided the stun. I appreciate that. Clumsy Axe Blade, taking 6. Okay, so we've got a mark down, but no way to really harness it. Let's throw a flashbang and see if we can get a stun here. Okay, perfect. That's gonna save us a little bit of incoming damage. We cannot weird reconstruction from our current spot, so you know what? Fine. If you're not going to let me get off the heel with the weird reconstruction, let's throw some marks around so we can maximize our damage. 14 from Nicholas Brody. I really would have liked to have seen a little bit more. Let's splatter some damage around here. I need to get some kills. Heals must be coming. Must get the kills, Pete. Clumsy Axe Blade again. Only 4. Can you move me back, please? Alright, you know what? Everything... Fine. We're gonna go back. Here comes a coral. Not a critical. Man, Primrose Everdeen's real jacked up. Oh, Cousin Matthew, we really did not need that dodge, buddy. Comes another Clumsy Axe Blade. First time Brody's had anybody take a shot at him. Alright, we have to do some healing here. We've got a bunch of people that are grievously injured. I need Russell Franklin to get out of a turn without being freaking stunned for once. Oh, he'll just be dead. The dodge, though! Okay, you have got to heal. There we go. Okay, one part of the party is now patched up. Matthew Crowley coming back with the 14-point crit is helpful. We need to start winning some speed rolls here, boys. 6 damage on a marked target, huh, Brody? Okay. Beautiful. Taking 10 of that back. We're going to stack a little bit of heal on our boy. Okay, we need, again... There we go. Okay, Crowley getting some work done for us. Weird reconstruction. That's a big old heal right there. We did take the bleed, but all things considered, not the end of the world. Healed 25 of that back. You know what? Go ahead and mark this man. This will set Primrose Everdeen up to shoot him in the heart. If we want him shot in the heart. I think maybe you're to blame for the heart shooting, but it also feels like maybe it's a little early to just go rampant and shoot him in the heart. So instead, let's whomp him with a flashbang. That's going to push him to the front. That sets us up for a couple easy chain kills here. We'll get and throw another big heal at our girl. This time she managed to resist the bleed. That's beautiful. Now we're going to chop this man in half. All things considered, I feel like this fight has gone pretty well. It's been pretty respectable. I feel really good about the speed with which we killed that champion monster. I'm not going to lie. And do a little bit of self-heal there. And you're dead. There's a critical from beyond the blue. A little stress relief for that as well. And hey, we picked up a jute tapestry, so an extra 5,500 gold. That is outstanding. We needed that cash. Heirloom chest. Hey, just 1,000 extra gold. We'll take it. So we're going to go hit this room because it's empty. We had more holy... Actually, you know what? This gives us benefits even if we don't use the curio. Let's do Altar of Light. It should just give us stress relief. Oh, that's actually a buff. Oh, bonus damage. All right. I mean, that'll do. That we're going to use on the way back. We will drop a torch on that on the way back to refill our light. We know this room is empty, so there's no harm, no foul. And the beast will fight harder in the dark. I don't know about you, but old Perfidious Pete's beast sure fights harder in the dark. It's because, you know, I have shame issues and I don't want anybody to see my body, so whenever I'm naked, I like it to be as dark as possible. And what are we going to do here? We're going to max our torchlight. We did technically give up an opportunity for some loot there, but I think the free refill for full light, probably a solid investment from a long-term planning standpoint. There's also a trap that spawned in behind us on the way back. Who can disarm? 85, 110. Well, 55. All right. Matthew Crawley can't fail, so he's going to be handling all of our traps. The smart play there would have been to switch over all of our trinkets and actually have the guy who needed the stress relief do the trap disarm, but that's a lot of maintenance and shuffling for what would I think total of, what, like 6 or 9 stress relief? That's a lot of extra work for 9 stress, it really is. Very tempted to touch that confessional. Not gonna do it, though. And since we know this way is relatively safe and contains an opportunity for a little bit of cheap stress relief, we might as well hit it. We going to hit it instead of quit it. I'm not here to stay and play. I'm long and I'm strong and I'm down to get the dungeon on. 69. Well, the second best light level to total blackness is this light level of 69, but not today. Really, we didn't need to burn that torch. We probably could have let that one go. We know we're blank on hallway battles all the way to this room and beyond, so I don't feel like we're going to use any torches until we get... probably until we get beyond this room. Never touch books. That is one of the serious drawbacks to adventuring in the ruins, however. A lot of the curios that you get are really kind of suboptimal curios. A lot of confessional booths, a lot of bookcases, a lot of stacks of books. All things that under ordinary circumstances you don't necessarily want to touch. Okay, light level back up to 96. We're going to keep it high. And this is why. We got we got surprise, 2 stress-causing units, and surprise. Alright, so your first goal, mark the stress unit, and let's get to work on that guy. So Primrose Everdeen, shot through the heart. My girl, there's nobody to blame for that one. It was absolutely and positively in all ways 100% beautiful. Getting you marked up, whacking you with the vulnerability hex. Why such little damage from our boy there? He hit him for 11. 10 from Crawley. Okay, I mean, maybe everybody's gonna do just miserable piss poor damage. Beautiful dodge on the rend. 13. Alright, this guy's just got a... never mind. Primrose Everdeen's laying in the back there, just handing out smackdowns. That's my girl, Prim. That's my girl. It's a shame they dropped the fucking building on you. Was it a building? I mean, Primrose gets exploded. I don't remember the specifics of it. She's at like some kind of rally she has no purpose being at to try and support her sister. Catnip Eversmeme, and then she gets exploded or a building falls on her head or something. Does it really matter the circumstances of her death? The only important thing is that she dies. Stashed heirlooms. Let's hope those heirlooms consist exclusively of gold. Fortunately, they did not. We know we're clear to the end of the hallway because we've got scouting already. that's mission complete. Let's see what's between us and the end. You know what? We're gonna continue adventuring. The only thing between us and success here is one room battle. We've got one last opportunity for a curio interaction, which we're gonna take. We're gonna snuff our torch. Pitch black. We'll loot this sack. The sack is empty, and now we're done. I'm not gonna fight a pointless hallway battle, potentially risk taking stress for what is ultimately just an empty room. I'm not fighting a fight to get access to an empty room. That's just bad investment. Yeah. How much total gold did I make, though? Okay, so with the jute tapestry, we actually came out of that one okay. 50 grand is not bad. We didn't quite make our resolve rank, but if the need arises, I mean, we could send this team right back in. Let's take a look at... We got fucked here. Okay. So, stress faster. Doesn't eat when stressed. Replace Warren's adventure. Arguably, that's an upgrade. Spasm of the entrails sucks. Weak grip on life is... We sort of need to get rid of that one. Hard-skinned, replaced Eldritch Slayer. That's objectively... I was gonna say a downgrade. That's not necessarily true. That one is more of a wash. That one's more of a Hoban Washburn kind of trade-off there. Bad gambler I don't give a shit about. Hemophilia is terrible. Absolutely terrible for a occultist. Thin-blooded. Okay. Natural swing. Extra 5 accuracy replaced Armor Tinker. Considering Primrose Everdene's already maxed on armor, that's a straight-up upgrade. And we got some diseases we're no longer going to be able to get rid of. Alright, I mean, we sort of got boned there at the end, what with the diseases and quirks a little bit, but it could have been vastly worse. We do need to keep this team as disease-free as possible. Russell Franklin absolutely cannot be a hemophiliac. That's gotta go. And I think we'll just get rid of Brody and Primp. Let's pay a little bit to clean all this up. Wasting sickness. That does represent a sizable chunk of our profits, admittedly. But we got a different team that's going to be going in the dungeon next time because our boy, who we wanted to level up here, Bubba Blue, yeah, he's out of the, okay, he's out of the clink. What do you got, little hemophilia? You know what? Little hemophilia never killed anybody, Bubba, except for, you know, all the people that it killed. I don't want any of these people. Okay, no stagecoach upgrades available. We have 143 crests. We should probably grind some of those into whatever we need to reduce the cost of training. Never mind. I was gonna say whatever we need to reduce the cost of training skills. Turns out, looks like that's already done. We could reduce the cost of weapons and armor upgrades by an additional 10%. An idea which I don't hate. It would take 24 deeds. We could probably afford to wait on that. What do we need for a stagecoach upgrade? 20 deeds would give us more available heroes. You know what? Let's do a quick conversion here. Let's get ourselves 8 more deeds. So I want to turn crests into deeds. And we need 8. There we go. So 24 crests become 8 deeds. I don't need to go here, actually. I just want to close this. Over here, make the swap, upgrade our stagecoach, get ourselves a few more heroes, and that's going to be it for this episode. If you enjoyed it, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon, consider subscribing as well. New episodes every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.